And let's get to Julia Boorstin live at the event with Barry Diller, chairman of IAC and chairman of Expedia. Folks, take it away.
Thanks so much, Tyler. Really appreciate it. And Barry, thanks so much for joining us here on the Hilltop today. There's been a lot of conversation so far about the impact that President Trump is going to have on the businesses of all the CEOs here. You've been an outspoken critic of President Trump. What are the issues you're most concerned about right now?
Well, that he hasn't done anything, really. I think it's just a joke, and hopefully it'll be over relatively soon. It inexplicably began, and it'll inexplicably end.
Well, Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump are on the attendee list for Sun Valley.
Yes.
What would you advocate for when you see them here? Would you talk to them?
I'd say hello. I've been friendly with them prior to, of course, the current situation. But I can't blame them for the current situation. So, of course, I'll say hello.
Are there any issues you'd ask them to bring up with the president?
Utterly none. What would be the point? Bringing it up to somebody who has no curiosity, doesn't listen, etc. Why would anybody bother?
Well, there are very various issues, obviously, that will impact your companies. Immigration,
yes.
Potentially, tax reform. Do you think there's a potential positive impact from tax reform?
Well, of course there is. I think the reason the market is buoyant is because of expectations on repatriation, tax reform of one kind or the other. I think that it's a little less likely. I hope it happens. I've hoped it would happen during the Obama administration. I've always hoped it would happen, certainly repatriation, which is a true craziness in terms of competitiveness and fairness. But I don't know. I think this administration will have difficulty getting anything done.
And what about the crackdown on immigration? Obviously, you're, as chairman of Expedia and IAC, are really in this tech space, which relies a lot on
yes, we've been very outspoken. And interestingly, we have a company called Trivago, which is a very fast-growing travel company, which is founded and based in Germany. And this morning, the chairman of that company, founded it, wrote that they are having the easiest time recruiting employees from the US. And I've been hearing that a lot. So in fact, we're going to lose talent rather than importing talent, which we always need. We have, I think I heard we have 1 million or 2 million jobs in the future, tech jobs, that we simply don't have the workforce for.
Today,
so, I think the immigration policies are reprehensible.
Today is net neutrality day of action to try to draw attention to President Trump's net neutrality plans. How will his plans to roll back net neutrality legislation impact your companies and IAC in particular?
Well, I think net neutrality is the current accepted way. There is no question, though, that if you roll it back, that the magic of the internet, it is a magic, is that you press a button and you publish to the world without anybody between you and the person you publish to. That's a miracle. And that is net neutrality. Now, everybody who distributes over the internet, the big guys, of course, don't like that, because the way they dominated media over the last century was out of scarcity and out of denial and out of saying, well, if you want to get on my distribution network, you've either got to pay me or I've got to own 50% of your company. So that kind of colonialism will be in great danger if there's no net neutrality. And our company, and we've incited every company we can find to speak out. It's just shocking to me that the American people would allow this miracle to be in danger. So I think everybody, I really do think, with information, they are going to write to the FCC, they are going to be outraged by this, and I don't think that it'll get very far. I'm kind of confident that we will have net neutrality, but I'm only confident to the level that just ordinary people don't recognize that their free communications are going to be in danger.
About 2 years ago on CNBC, you thought that all TV news, with the exception of local news, was irrelevant. That was the term you said. Now that Trump's been attacking the TV news business, he's going after all of the TV players, with the exception.
I said it was irrelevant?
You said local television news was going to be the most important part of TV news. It was in 2015.
Oh, no, I said it's the one thing that I absolutely can guarantee will survive.
Will survive. But so what's your take on the news business now that you have Trump attacking the television news business?
Well, I think it's actually great for the news business. I mean, what's horrible, of course, is this idiocy of fake news and his choosing off news people and news. I mean, I'm saying the obvious. I mean, any bimbo would feel this way. So, but actually, because of the fact you kind of got to pay a little bit of attention today, and you're going to get it from all of these sources, good sources, bad sources, fair sources, unfair sources. This environment is very, very good for news. Certainly good for investigative reporters.
Do you think Trump's criticism of CNN will prevent the at&t Time Warner deal from going through, or will they have to sell off CNN?
I can't imagine it. I mean, anything can actually happen, but I doubt it. I mean, I don't. Listen, you do have, separate from Trump and a few of the other crazos in the administration, you know, you have pretty decent, smart people at work, and I don't think they're really going to say, because that bimbo president of ours thinks that CNN is the Antichrist, that it's going to prevent the Time Warner merger.
And I have to ask about Snapchat. Evan Spiegel, CEO of Snap, is here, and Snap is trading below its IPO price. What's your take on Snapchat? Do you think it has a chance to be a third big player next to Facebook and Google?
I don't know about third, but I'd pack it up there in the numbers. I mean, it has a big audience, and people like Snapchat. So, I mean, I think that there's a lot of hype. I don't think that any IPO is at all relevant until 3-5 years after, other than the people who sell off at the beginning or buy at the beginning and hold. So I think that time will tell, but I think Evan Spiegel, who runs it, is excuse me, is brilliant. So he's got a good shot.
Would you buy Snap shares at this price?
I don't buy shares in publicly traded companies, other than in all of the ones that we own.
Okay, well, to be continued. Barry Diller, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.